Even though it was an awful relationship, you showed up amazing. You served him, you helped him, you got him out of debt, you got him out of a job, you picked him up off the gutter. Like, there's so many aspects that when you look back at the relationship, you're like, he should be thanking me because of everything I did for him. He didn't seem to appreciate it at all. I don't get it. And then he just moved on. And then sometimes you'll have this thought that comes into your mind that's a very popular one, and it's simply, does he regret it? Like, does he regret losing you? Does he regret the things that he did? Does he regret the things that he said? Does he regret that he no longer has you in his life because you were amazing to him? You were great. You supported, you loved, you cared, and then he just disappeared. He just went out to the next person. You're like, what in the world? I don't get it. Now, if we're not careful, it stems into you believing that you have no worth and you have no value. We've talked about that in the previous video last week or 2 weeks ago. But inside of this place here, this question of like, is he going to regret losing me is one that typically will come up. You might have it phrased different ways, but I want you to think of this question. Does he regret losing me? Now, inside that question, there's a couple things that are implied. One of the things that are implied is that he would also always recognize that you had worth and you had value. Now, this doesn't mean that he controls or he dictates how much worth or how much value you actually have. But what it does say is you start to think, did he see me? It's assuming that he did. And what I want you to consider for a moment is maybe he didn't, because maybe he just didn't care. Didn't care to see you, didn't care to acknowledge you, didn't care to be engaged, like didn't really care. So consider that just for a moment. The other piece inside of it is inside of that question of like, does he regret losing me? It also implies that there's a high level that he would know that he's losing. This might kind of sound similar to the first one, but I want to make a little distinction here. Because if we're not careful, what will actually happen is some of your ego will actually pick this up even higher than what it should be. Okay, bear with me. And when we talk about this piece of your ego picking it up higher, it oftentimes will elevate this piece of being like, I was pretty amazing. He should regret losing me. While that might be true, there's also a piece that we have to be careful of your ego elevating this to a place that thinks, well, he should. Okay? There's a little bit of nuances here. When we're talking about this piece of thinking, well, he should regret losing me, that also implies that he would see that you have this value and this worth. And oftentimes people look at it being like, I'm this amazing. Why didn't he view me like this? Well, because he didn't view you like that. He didn't think of you like that. He simply kept you feeling like that so that you'd keep doing for him what he wanted you to do. You kept serving him because he kept giving you little breadcrumbs so that you keep coming back, so you keep trying harder. And then when he left you, you're thinking like, is he going to regret me because I was so amazing to him? He's like, yeah, I know you're amazing to me. Thanks for that. Moving on. I'm like, whoa, that's very callous. Like, it doesn't seem like he cares at all. What is the demonstration of care? It doesn't matter all the words. You have to have actions. You have to have demonstration. Otherwise, you get to a place thinking, why doesn't he regret losing me? Well, because he doesn't view you as having any value, because he doesn't care about you or the next person or the next person or anybody else, because he doesn't view anyone having value. You're like, but I have value. That's great, but he doesn't care. It doesn't fit in his reality. So as much as you want to tout that line and think of that and be with that, it doesn't matter because he's not willing to view it or see it. And as a result, he treated you worth less. Doesn't mean that you're worthless, but he treated you and acted like you were worth less. And so this piece of, does the narcissist regret losing you? There's a huge piece inside of this that the simple answer is just no. He doesn't. He doesn't regret losing you because he used you for the period of time and then he moved on to the next person. And that losing you is not a regretful piece. It's not a piece that has this remorse or this aspect of like, oh, she was so good to me. Now, the reason why is he can't sit with that. He can't sit with the fact that it was his fault or that he did something wrong, so it has to switch around to be your fault, something that you did wrong. So in that reality, he's not thinking, she was so good, so wonderful, and I just regret losing her. It's like, no, I have to paint her as the villain so I feel better about myself. I have to make sure that she's the bad person so that I feel better about myself. So in the regret piece, it's like, regret, nope. You were the toxic person. You were the awful person. You left me. You abandoned me. You hurt me. All of these things. Whatever it needs to happen to flip it around so that he feels better about himself. It's on you. And so in that conversation, it doesn't sound like he regrets anything at all. Because he doesn't. He has to look at, how do I make sure that you are the toxic one so I don't feel bad about myself, so that it's all you. So simple answer, majority of times, is the narcissist does not regret losing you because he doesn't care at all about anything except himself. Now you might be thinking, but he's still coming back. He's still trying. So that must mean he regrets it. No, he just looks at you naive enough that he can come back and manipulate you. But he's crying, but he's at my doorstep, but he keeps sending me flowers. Yeah, because he knows eventually you'll cave and you'll go back to him. And then within a week, a month, it'll revert back and it'll be the same exact stuff that you dealt with because he hasn't invested any time, energy, or money into his own healing. He's just telling you that he's different. I'm all better. I came to my come to Jesus moment. I'm all better. I went to one therapy session. Now I'm healed. And you're like, oh my gosh, he does regret losing me. No, he doesn't give a shit about you. Called manipulation. And he's trying to do this to make sure that you stay confused and that you keep coming back and that you keep being stuck with him over and over and over again because he doesn't regret losing you. If we had to extrapolate out the piece of regret just a little bit farther, the only piece that we could successfully tie it to consistently would be regretting his power and control over you. What he got out of you. That's it. He doesn't regret your intrinsic worth. He doesn't regret your empathy, your goodness. He doesn't care about those. And the fact that you think that he cares about those makes you very naive to his manipulation of even coming back. He doesn't regret losing you. Now, he might regret what you did for him. He might regret the money that he got from you. Be like, man, it'd be nice if I had that ATM machine back. He might regret the looks. Man, it'd be nice because I was able to tout that around and show people like how amazing like I looked with her. He might regret because of the status. I miss going to those parties and talking to those bigwigs and like focusing on all these things that I couldn't get in those circles because of who I am. He misses what he gets from you. Like the residual impact on his life that he benefited from. That doesn't mean he regrets missing you. He regrets losing you. He regrets your heart, your soul. He regrets losing that piece of you because that piece didn't get him anything. It didn't buy him more stuff. It didn't buy him more credibility. It didn't buy him more intelligence. It didn't do anything for him. So he's like, I only missed the things that I could have got from you, which was like money and sex and image typically. But I haven't got that, and that's not something I want because I get that with the next person, and like they're better because they don't understand me, and they don't know that I have issues, and they don't really see any of the toxicity. So like, why not go be with this person? But then you're left stuck. Does he regret? Sometimes people ask this question because they're looking for validation. And sometimes they'll ask this question because they're looking to build up their own self-worth. And they're looking for it to kind of justify, if he regrets, then it means that I am worth something. If he regrets, then it means that I have value. If he regrets, then it means something about me. Guess what? It doesn't. You're the only one that defines you. So when you're doing this, you're actually telling yourself a story about yourself. Versus you actually learning to build yourself up. Learning how to grow and develop your own mindset, thought process, mental capacity, emotional intelligence, being able to say, I don't need another person in my life to validate me. I can validate myself. I don't need someone else to prove my worth. I can actually prove that to myself. I don't need someone else to tell me that I'm good enough, that I have value. I can do that myself, because otherwise you will start to find other people in your life that are just as toxic, looking to them for validation. You're like, please validate me. And I get it. Everybody wants to be validated on some level. The problem is when you start invalidating yourself by validating the opinions of others. When you start invalidating who you are by validating someone else's narrative of you, that's where you start to lose. You start to lose yourself. You start to lose your self-worth. You start to lose your self-respect. All of this starts to disintegrate because you're abdicating this to someone else and you're saying, hey, please define me. Please define if I'm worth anything, if I'm good enough, if I have value. Can you tell me if I am? Instead, we need to switch the frame of reality back onto you so that you start focusing on your growth, on your development, and you defining that for you. You stacking the irrefutable evidence about who you are, about the things you've accomplished, about life, about the direction you've gone. All of these things are massive and essential because if you don't focus on this for you, you'll continue to abdicate that value ladder piece to someone else. And you'll tell everybody else in your life, please evaluate me and tell me my value. We live in a world that does this subconsciously. You do this through buying insurance. You have a certain value on you, on your life. You do this inside of social media. Your value is based on your likes, your views. You do this based on so many different other things that you value. I want you to consider for a moment that your value is intrinsic to you and you are the one that defines it. Everybody else can't define it, but you will start to believe that they can. That's what we have to work on. I want to help you actually learn to value yourself, to shift that perspective back onto you so that you don't struggle with the question of does he regret losing you because you're like, hey, whether he does or doesn't, it doesn't matter because I know who I am. If you're looking for that certainty, that confidence in who you actually are and who you can be, then I want you to reach out. Go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough today. Let's have a conversation. Watch a video that I have there just to be able to understand more of what I do and how we can actually find this confidence piece for you. Hey, just want to jump in here really quick and say you might have been watching my content for a period of time, but you haven't taken the next step. You haven't taken the next moment, the next idea, the next thought to actually change your life. And I want to provide you with a couple different options. One of the ways is to be able to work with me personally inside the Thriver Intensive. What I do inside of there is help you break the trauma bond, eradicate the triggers, and move forward in the healing process. You got 24/7 access to me. You've got access to other women who are going through it, access to other coaches, but a support system that you need to finally break free once and for all, and to make sure that you don't go back, that you don't interact with them again, and that you finally find peace. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more about this, then click on the link down below, but it'll be rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. You'll be able to hear a little bit from me. You'll be able to hear a little bit from my wife and be able to hear a little bit more about what I do to help you move forward. If that resonates with you, click on the link below, rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. The moment you stop trying to earn his respect, it's the moment you start earning your own. You thought respect was automatic inside of love, didn't you? Like there's a piece of you that believed if you gave him your heart, if you gave him your time, your soul, that respect would come naturally, but the reality is it didn't. It was because he never respected you. It was never a piece that it mattered to him. And I know this because I never respected her. I didn't respect her kindness. I didn't respect her loyalty. I certainly didn't respect her love. In fact, the more that she loved me, the less I had respect for her, because I knew that love I could control and I could manipulate. And I know that hurts you to hear, but I need you to understand the truth. Love doesn't soften this. It didn't open up my heart. It didn't make me see how easily that I could shift or change or be better. It made me see how easily I could break hers. Remember how admiration quickly turned into disdain. The image that I put up that was like, this is the greatest thing ever, but then was broken down. There's a piece where I was drawn to positive things in her life, her strength, her compassion, her goodness. But then those are the exact things that I would turn around and use and switch to look at her vulnerability and see how much she needed me, how much she was looking for validation of who she was. And instead of cherishing that, I despised it. I said it was clingy. I said it was like frustrating. This thing became a weapon in my life, a weapon to be able to attack, a weapon to be able to destroy. Her devotion became my advantage. Her pain became my reassurance that I still had power and control over her. You wonder why he doesn't respect you? Let me tell you something, he never did. You wonder why he doesn't respect you? Let me tell you something, he never did.